welcome to Studio Nicole. I am Nicole, and I'm so glad that you're here. I actually turned the recording on kind of right at the end of today's studio session because I knew that what I was doing was going to be pretty boring and tedious to watch. And so I'm just inviting you in kind of at the end of the project so that um, you can see what I have done, and I'll flip through and kind of show you the end result. So I have been working on adding words to my Cascade journal, and this is the very last bit. This is the author's name, Mary Oliver, and the name of the poem, The Summer Day. This is what I have been adding into my journal. And I want to put it, you have to give credit where credit is due. I'm an English teacher, so that part's really important. So I'm adding the author's name and the name of the poem to the last page right here. And then dun, 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 dun. Now I want to flip through and kind of show you what I have done. So I had the full poem printed. It is a pretty lengthy poem. I printed it in a handwriting font that's based on my own handwriting that I did sometime last year, I think it was. I created it. And there is a video kind of walking you through how to do that. It's a short, so there's not a whole lot of detail, but you can kind of follow the steps. It's an online program, basically. It cost, I don't know, maybe $10. I cut the words out and then I put them onto black cardstock. I just glued them down and cut them out. You can see I have like tons of little scraps of like black paper here. And I added a couple of tiny little details. I didn't do a whole lot. I think I want to do some handwriting. And then I think I'm going to leave this. I'm pretty close to being done. So here is kind of the reveal of the words. I'm excited to share this with you. Here's what I started with. I started with I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Mary Oliver, The Summer Day. So there we go. That's what I've done all morning. It's taken me a little over an hour to cut out all the words, back them onto cardstock, cut the cardstock out, place them on the pages, and glue it all down. Layers and layers of glue here. I think I love it. I don't think I've ever done a Cascade journal or any kind of a journal based around a poem, but I love this. It's one of my favorite poems. The idea of idleness versus productivity and learning how to rest and how to be present in the world is something that is very, very it's hard for me, but it's important, I think, to struggle with and to learn. And so it's an idea that I engage with a lot and that I'm constantly trying to learn and navigate and get better. And so this poem, for years, has been an inspiration to me. I actually have part of it painted on my wall behind me. Well, it's not painted on the wall, it's painted on a sign on my wall behind me. I also cut out, I used the same stencil that I have been using throughout the pages. Like it's the same pattern, but I used it to cut out a one of these leaves. So there's a little peekaboo moment kind of happening. I'm not sure what I want to do on this. Oh, I am. Never mind. I'm so sorry. I was thinking that I would have more um, contrast if I created some depth and darkness and shadowing around this flower. So I started to shade it with Stabilo. You can see I just kind of like sketched in with a Stabilo, but then I got distracted doing something else and I never did come back and use the pencil or use the water to activate that. So that's what I want to do. I just want to activate all of the Stabilo and kind of spread it out. I like it to be kind of amorphous, like around the flower, but then sort of fading off into the distance. Um, so there's no like stark line where the shadowing ends. And I'm not doing like a realistic shadow here because, I'm not worrying about a light source and keeping the shadow only in one place. I just wanted to darken the page behind this flower so that it would show up better through the cutout. And I think once this dries, I think I will have achieved something something like what I want. Maybe a little bit more right up here. All right, actually, I'll just go ahead and take a second to dry this. I'll be right back and you can see what it looks like when it's all dried and finished. Okay, so that's the dried version. I've just got kind of some Stabilo kind of smeared around in the background. And now when you flip the page, you really can see the shape. It sort of comes through a lot more clearly. I still might, I drove around the edges on this side with a pen, and I still might do that on this side because it just looks a little flat. So yeah, we'll see. I don't know that I'll do it all right this second, because it's going to take a long time, and I'm sort of running out of time in the studio. Actually, I've been sitting here for a really long time with these words, and I do have other stuff I need to be doing today. Someday maybe I'll be able to just retire and make art all day, but today is not that day. I definitely have plenty to do. So yeah, I think it looks better with the sketchy lines around it. I think it just helps to define it a little bit more and it gives it a little more dimension so it doesn't feel flat on the page. So it doesn't have to be neat and perfect. Nothing ever is, but I'm happy with pretty much that. Now, the other thing that I do want to do is do some journaling in really messy writing. So So this is kind of something that I want to do throughout is add in some messy writing that's kind of journaling. I about this idea. That's what I was writing here. I was writing a little bit about the idea of being idle and blessed. Um and yeah, so I won't again, I won't make you necessarily watch that, but I do want to add a little bit of that to the pages so that it feels like it's sort of my reaction to this poem and to these ideas. I want to just include in different places. See, I just think that adding that to the page just gives it something that it needs. I don't know. So I'm going to look around in the different pages and figure out where I think the writing will add some detail to the page, and I'll just do a little bit of journaling about the poem. That's definitely my plan. I kind of love that there are still places where you can see through. Like here's a QR code and it says Top Gear that does it all from crunch time to downtime. I kind of love that you can still sort of see through the background. Um, like if we're going to get like metaphorical, it kind of is like the idea of this poem of being idle and just stopping the productivity and the doing and the shopping, right? And so we're kind of covering that up with the wonder of the natural world instead. Um, so it gets a little metaphorical there, but I think that there's an argument to be made that it really does fit the theme of the journal, and I love it. So this is what I've got so far, folks. We are approaching the very end of Paper, Paint, and Possibility, which was originally designed for a private Facebook group, Journaling Adventures Through Creativity and Art, in April of 2026. There's only a few days of April left, and these videos will be public on my Facebook page in the future. So if you want to follow along and check them out in the future, you can just follow me on YouTube. I also do want to remind everyone that I am running a 2-day creative retreat this summer at the Verdon Center in Lewes, and I'm going to be walking people through another Cascade journal. So this is sort of the anchor for the weekend. There will be lots of other things happening, lots of open studio time and lots of other bonus like workshops and exploration stations. So please don't hesitate to go to my website. It's just studionicole.art, and you can review any information that you want about the retreat, or you can reach out to me and ask questions if you have any questions about the retreat. But if you are watching this video and it's not, if it's before like June or July 2026 and you see this and want to come join us, then I would love to have you. So thanks so much for following along with me through this whole process. I probably will post one last video with just a final flip through once I get the writing in. And I have one more idea that I want to use these cutout leaf shapes from this page where I cut these out. I still have all of the little cutouts, and I thought that I might arrange them on the back page somewhere, like in the shape. I'd obviously have to get the stencil out so that I could see where and how it goes. But I thought maybe I would use these and add this on the back page somehow. So that's probably one of the last details that I will add to this journal. But I'll share a flip through in a few days of the absolute finished product, and I promise I won't touch it after that. Maybe. All right, folks, thanks for being here. Like and subscribe. Check out the Pages Unbound part of my website. Let me know if you have any questions. I can't wait to see you in the next video.